Welcome to this week's Carnage Perspective. We have a great question today from Ali from Razia Fight Apparel. Can you fight and have other things in your life at the same time, etc., work, family, blah, blah? Or does fighting consume 100% of your life? Can you have a fight, life, balance, or are there many sacrifices you have to make? If you can have a balance, how do you obtain it? Well, firstly, of course, there's a lot of sacrifice to be a fighter, and depending on the level of fighting you want. I had this conversation not that long ago with a friend, Craig, from one fight actually, and he was training for a few fights and he'd been a bodybuilder before, and his business suffered because he was so consumed with getting ready for a fight. Now, this does happen when there's so much pressure. Okay, you never had a fight before, and you're just like, I've got to fight. Okay, I'm going to fight. So then you're nervous, and all this anxiety might start, and this, and especially when you have a name, you know what I mean, riding on the line. So all of a sudden, it consumes everything that you think about, everything that you do. You put all this energy into that and neglect something else in your life. This is a natural thing that can happen to you. I guess over time, this will blend in to be able to deal with this better. As far as the question of can you work, hey, I can't answer that question because I never worked. I set all my eggs in one basket when I was a young man, and that's what I want to try and do. And I hate the word try, but at the time I was like, okay, that's what I'd like to do. And I did that, and I've made it work. But in saying that, I can talk about whether you can have a family life, whether you can have even a personal life outside of the ring. This is a really important thing. Yes, I had a son. He's 13. I was a young father at the start of my career, a young man. And I just said, okay, well, I'm a father now, so of course I can have a family, I can raise a child, and I can also still be world champion. At the time when he was born, I was Australian champion. So it's proof that you can obviously do both. The one thing that I like to talk about the most when it comes to this part is consuming yourself with too much of the sport. There's people out there that are fanatical. They watch fights all day long. They talk about fights all day long. It's like, if they were a single male, I'm not sure how they're ever going to pick up a girl, because I'm sure they'll be bored listening to fight talk all day long, or watching fight movies all day long. How did I asked it that when I answer this question, I even ask myself, think about how did I last so long in a sport? How do you make something not so much of a job, and how can you do it for a long time? Anyone can do something for 6 months. Anyone can do something for a day. Everyone knows that how hard it is to do something for a long period of time. But to be able to do something for a long period of time means you cannot saturate yourself with it. Doesn't mean you don't train hard and you dedicate and you eat right and you do what's required, but you don't saturate yourself with it. For example, myself, I have many friends, but I didn't have friends that were fighters. I would separate myself, not deliberately, but I'd separate myself from training and life. I'd go to training, I'd go home and have a shower, get dressed in nice clothes, and I'd do my thing. I wouldn't sit around in sports clothes all day long. Different now, I'm working, so I'm wearing sports clothes. For an example, I wouldn't watch fights at home. My house is not a shrine of fight pictures and fight magazines and fight trophies. I wouldn't go and get on forums and checking out everyone else's goss all day long. I just worried about what I was doing, what I was wanting to achieve. And again, it's my perspective again, and it's just my opinion on what I felt was comfortable. I'm just trying to share this to help you through your battles or questions or wanting to know how to do it. So consuming yourself with one thing isn't healthy. If you wanted to be a professional fighter, of course you need to train hard, be dedicated, be disciplined, and it's going to take a lot of your life up. That's without a doubt. Like anything you do in Sydney, whether it's business, anything you do. But you have to remember there's that time out. So the switch off time. So switch off time is taking yourself away from the gym, taking yourself away from those conversations, going and hanging out with family and not talking about fighting, going hang out with a girl and not talking about yourself, going hang out with a guy if you're a girl and talking about something different, maybe going for a beach walk, maybe just changing things up a little bit. Don't make your bedroom, your home, a shrine of what you do at work. For me, my work was fighting, so therefore I wanted to not go home and be like, I'm still at work. So I would eliminate that. Again, this is how I did it. Again, like I said before, it's just my opinion, my perspective on it. So yes, you can have family. Yes, you can work. And yes, you can have a successful fight career. Prioritize what's important to you. Do what has to be done. But also remember to have a switch on and a switch off. Switch on when you're at the gym. Switch off when you leave the gym. Doesn't mean you have to be negligent and irresponsible between the gym time and the next gym time. No, you have to be a master. You have to be switched on like a samurai the whole time. And do it gracefully and have fun and enjoy your life. And therefore, you can do a 15-year career like I did, as opposed to after 3 years, you burn out. I didn't want to look at a fight gym again or put a pair of gloves on again is a nightmare. So that's how I feel that it's going to help you. And that's what worked for me, so I hope that works for you. Great question again, Ali, and I hope that helps with yourself and also the other viewers watching today. Thank you.